Right now on 12 News at 6, two top stories tonight. First, the Arizona Senate has passed a bill to repeal the 1864 abortion ban dating back to the Civil War era.
And our other top story, we hear from an ASU student who is providing her perspective on how the on-campus protests are impacting the Jewish community. Good evening and welcome to 12 News at 6. I'm Kadiva Devine.
I'm Mark Curtis. Governor Katie Hobbs will sign the bill repealing the 1864 abortion ban tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Now, this comes after the state Senate gave final approval today to the repeal.
12 News journalist Bram Resnick was at the state capitol as Republican lawmakers explained their votes against the repeal. He joins us now with how this all unfolded today. Hi, Bram.
Hey, Caribe, 1 month after the Arizona Supreme Court's stunning decision upholding the state's 160-year-old near-total abortion ban, both the Republican-controlled House and Senate have now voted to repeal it. Each time, a handful of Republicans joined Democrats to cast the deciding votes. Today's vote in the Senate played out before a packed gallery of about 120 people, most of them fierce abortion opponents. The drama surrounding the bill's fate ended quickly on a procedural vote. The two pro-life Republicans supporting the repeal, Senators T.J. Shope of Coolidge and Shauna Bullock of Phoenix, stood with all the Senate Democrats to move the bill forward. Once it was clear the repeal was going to pass, some Republicans who opposed the bill gave heartfelt speeches. Others were angry at their GOP colleagues, and a few were ugly. Here was one of the more emotional moments. Republican Senator Justine Watsack shared the miscarriage of her second child.
The second one I lost. It was a miscarriage. God chose when that heartbeat was going to stop.
Now, several Republicans trained their anger on their two colleagues who voted with the Democrats.
I know I have to stand before God one day and give an account. And he's not going to ask me, did I win the next election? He's not going to ask me, did the big donors give you a nice check because you voted the way I want to, that they wanted me to.
Now, Democrats were largely silent as Republicans spoke at length about their opposition to the repeal. Senator Eva Birch, a nurse who went public with the story of her abortion last month, called out Republicans and was shouted down by the gallery.
First, I want to explain that the graphic descriptions of abortion given here today do not bear any resemblance to the vast majority of abortions that are performed in this country.
And about the Republicans who broke with their colleagues, Senator Shope didn't say why he voted with Democrats. Senator Bullock gave a 26-minute floor speech about the length of this newscast that never stated exactly why she voted for the repeal. Bullock does face a tough re-election campaign in her swing district. And again, Governor Katie Hobbs will sign the repeal into law tomorrow. Mark, Caribe?
All right, so the Senate has repealed this. Where does the law stand as of tonight, Bram?
Yeah, I can understand why folks might be confused, so let's go over it. Current law bans abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. There is no exception for rape or incest. The 1864 ban will take effect sometime, could be June 27th or later. It will stay in effect until the repeal that happens 90 days after the session ends. The session usually ends end of June, so that could be October. So there will be a period when the 1864 near total ban is in effect. After the repeal takes effect, we're back to no abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. Confusing? I hope you got it.
Yeah, a lot of moving parts.
It is confusing. Bram, thanks.
Sure thing.
An active day outside the Capitol as well. This is such an emotional issue as people both pro-life and pro-choice gathered to hear what would happen.
12 News journalist Colleen Sikora was outside with them and is looking at what organizers are planning following today's vote.
Both those wanting to see the near total abortion ban remain in place and others wanting to see the Senate take the action it did today were out here in front of the Capitol making their voices heard. But now the attention turns to the abortion ballot initiative that's likely on the November ballot.
Unenforceable.
Voices on the Senate floor and outside.
I didn't say that was how I feel.
Passionate about abortion in Arizona.
I'm pleased, I'm disappointed that it took so long to get to this point.
point.
I think it's unfortunate, although it was expected.
With the Senate's vote 16-14, the bill's headed to Governor Katie Hobbs, who's said she'd sign it into law tomorrow at 1 o'clock. That would not take effect until 90 days following the end of the legislative session. Going back to the 1864 law came from the Arizona Supreme Court decision from a case argued by Alliance Defending Freedom senior counsel Jake Warner, who's disappointed by the Senate's vote to repeal.
Is there any legal avenue to keep it in place beyond the governor signing it into law?
Not if it's repealed.
Concerns still left on both sides.
Abortion is on the ballot this year.
The focus is on defeating the Arizona Abortion Access Amendment.
The Arizona Abortion Access Act is a ballot initiative that would protect abortion rights in the state constitution, likely to be in front of voters in November.
That is the only thing that protects abortion rights. Anything that comes out of the legislature to the ballot regarding abortion is a scam.
A GOP plan leaked a couple weeks ago lays out legislative options, including proposing a competing ballot initiative that would put lawmakers' authority over abortion regulation in the state constitution. Kathy Herod, president of the Center for Arizona Policy and a longtime architect of anti-abortion bills at the state legislature, says she's made her thoughts known to legislative leadership on that.
My focus is to defeat the extreme abortion access amendment. Let's defeat the one that's unregulated, unrestricted abortion and not be in a situation of which one gets the most votes.
Leaving Arizona voters likely the ones to decide.
The proposed Arizona abortion amendment would bring in unrestricted, unregulated abortion in our state, that voters know that this amendment goes too far.
We have to pass that ballot initiative. We have to ensure that our rights are protected in the Arizona Constitution.
Colleen Sikora, 12 News.